Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in tonight. We are back in Ace Attorney. We finished off the second game last week, so we're starting the third game. Not Ace Attorney, not Just for All, but Trials and Tribulations.
I'm out here speech jamming myself like an idiot.
With audio for the stream also up.
Yeah.
Gambaru. But yeah, we start with this first episode here, flashback arc, which I'm kind of excited about. I remember liking this one. Yes, Turnabout Memories. Let's go. Why did you do that? Hmm? I'm just gonna play through. I'm not gonna even try today. I don't have the energy. Alright, I've had the sleep, but I don't have the energy to keep up with automated text.
Objection.
You gotta say stop it. He's not yet an ace. He's not yet the Ace Attorney.
Y'all mean you're telling me this attorney's ace?
I don't know. I can't say.
It's an asexual joke.
Hmm?
It's an asexual joke.
I figured.
Gotcha. It's funnier when I explain it.
Yeah, definitely. All jokes
That's how
are.
humor works.
5 years earlier, Mia Fey, second trial. Ooh, so
Second trial.
Mia was a baby days. April 11th, 9:40 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Phew, it's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. There's only
You
one.
know who this is?
There's only one person I believe that does this.
Oh! Ahem.
Oh, Mr. Grossberg. Good morning.
Mia, please calm yourself down. You're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know.
What are you talking about? I'm relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me. I'm relaxed.
Rumpf! Let go of my lapels. You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer.
I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today.
Well, that's right. It's your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never you fear, my dear. I'm Marvin Grossberg, I'm at your service.
Actually, this is my second time in court.
Still, you surprised me. What was their earnest request last night? Marvin Grossberg, the one voice I never nailed down.
It's okay.
Let me handle this case, you suddenly said, and quite forcefully, too.
I just found out yesterday. About the case, I mean.
What? You've already learned all the relevant facts?
Well, about that. You see, I mean, of course I have, I think.
I looked at the court record.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Speaking of, tutorial time.
Yep.
Oh, maybe not. In any case, don't let your client see you so nervous.
Be sure to hit tab to reference your evidence whenever you need to, my dear.
I'll make you less nervous. Only it's that easy. You see the poor young man in the pink sweater over there? It's our client. Oh, still. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia.
I just want to say, I give it all I've got. Yep, it'll be fine. No problem.
Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something? Mr. Wright?
Actually, it's right. Like, the Flying Brothers. People screw it up all the time. And yes, I have a cold. That's what this mask is for. Masking up when I'm sick. I don't get other people say. My doc says this way, I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says.
Right, Mr. Wright. You have nothing to fear in court today. If you're truly innocent, I promise I will save you.
Please, let go of my shirt.
That's right. He's the one on trial, not you. He's the one that should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia.
I think your client's staying strong for you.
My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago.
You had an entire year between cases?
She had to go on a journey like Edgeworth. She just figured it out. She just figured it out sooner than most. But that trial traumatized me so badly, I never thought I'd set foot in another courtroom.
It's like when you're watching movies and someone says, "What's this all about?" and someone else is like, "Watch for 5 minutes, you'll learn."
Yeah. It's been 1 year since then, and well, here I am again. But this time I'm going to win. For my client, and for myself. April 11th.
For Wright.
For Wright. For Wright. April 11th, 10 a.m., District Court number 2. I totally forgot Grossberg's gonna be there the whole time.
Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright, and I'm still old.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it?
Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem?
I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be the leading in the defense. I worked good.
Yeah, I don't get paid to speak, I get paid to judge. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of emergency.
Emergency? But isn't that him standing right there next to you?
His voice! He can't use it today. Yes,
Thank God.
well,
Hey, you're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this?
don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. Of course, Your Honor. I think.
Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please.
Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Don't worry, little girl. It'll all be over soon.
What was that all about? Was he trying to trash talk me?
Now then, I'd like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question. The incident occurred on campus of Ivy University. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. He was a fourth-year student studying pharmacology.
Sure. Sounds like he was a very bright young man.
Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. The tiny umbrella. Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body and the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway. They then called the police.
That certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well. The court accepts this photo and record as evidence.
Crime photo 1 added to the court record.
By the way, did you know you can hit tab to open the court record?
Wow! Thanks, Judge!
I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo. Really?
Yeah, he died from asphyxiation. It was raining after all. He drowned.
Yep. Like a turkey. I don't know if that's amusing or fell flat.
No, I laughed. So I know. I think it's don't they like drink the water from the rain? Like they open their mouth.
They stare up at the sky with their mouths open.
Yeah.
Swallow, so they just drown.
Yep.
Your reputation for sagacity is well earned, Your Honor.
His voice is like a more pathetic Mo.
Yeah. I know. It's like I'm trying to remember which. Because his voice is familiar, but I couldn't remember what character you used this for.
I just remembered I had him extra nasally, but it had been a while since I've been paying. So.
Yeah. He didn't show up very often.
Just the first trial.
It's the first trial because he's got to be a pain in your ass.
Yeah.
The truth is that this victim died a rather unusual death.
Asphyxiation.
An unusual death?
What do you mean, Mr. Payne?
Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question.
Huh?
A simple question, but I thought I might loosen you up a bit. I am a genteel man, if you will.
I won't.
Oh, what? Stand up to him, Mia. Show him what you're made of.
Ah, a perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause. Go on. Please say you know at least this much.
I'm sorry. I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file, even though that should be on the front page.
My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. Side view Grossberg is just throwing me. Now see here! The details of this case are filed under the court record. But you knew that already, didn't you?
Yeah, we've played 2 games so far, Grossberg. The court record. I think I can see that by pressing tab.
There we go. None of the weapons we need can be found in the court record. Take a good hard look at the data there and think carefully before you answer, my dear.
Yes, sir.
I didn't expect the word data out of him and it threw me off.
Yes, sir. I'll do just that. I've got to stay calm. I can't let that prosecutor get the better of me. The court record. Okay, let's take a look. I just pressed tab here.
Now then, will the attorney for the defense please answer the question by pressing tab?
By pressing tab. Fatal electric shock, as we all presumed, considering seeing the broken power line above the man on the ground, dead.
Yeah. Oh, it's a cause of death. God damn it.
Asphyxiation! It was asphyxiation! I called it! Electrocution. According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution.
Electrocution? How could such a thing happen? Did the murderer use some type of new superpower stun gun, perhaps?
Yup, you got it, Judge.
It was so supercharged it needed actual electric wires.
Yep.
The answer now will become crystal clear as this trial proceeds, Your Honor.
Look at the photograph.
But before that, there's one more vital issue.
What's that?
Why, motive, of course. Apparently, there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant.
Bad blood? Like that Taylor Swift song?
I'm so out of touch. I don't even know that reference.
It's an older song, to be fair.
The last Taylor Swift song I can remember off the top of my head is old Taylor Swift back, like, was it? What's it? Love Story? And, a long time ago, I have not kept up with Taylor Swift, much less pop music, since maybe, like, 2010.
I always listen to the radio when I commute, so I don't have a choice.
That's true.
Keep up with music sometimes.
See, I just use Spotify because I seclude myself into J-pop and J-rock.
That's fair.
What do you mean?
Oopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this.
I really don't like this guy's smug attitude.
That's what she's paying for you. Here's one smooth operator, if you catch my drift. Prosper, did you go on dates? They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know. Now then, a chair for the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? This time, I would like to see some supporting evidence. My attorney's badge.
My attorney's badge. Proof of my profession. The first and last time I wore it was a year ago. Do you guys also want to see my attorney's badge? This is where Phoenix gets it. This is where Phoenix gets it. Yeah, exactly. I don't think that shows anything. What about profiles? Currently has a cold.
I thought it said currently is cold.
Currently is cold. He could be if he's running a fever. Ah. Okay. Dated the victim Doug Swallow up until 8 months ago. Currently Phoenix Wright's girlfriend. Evidence.
No need to get all hooked up over this. As I said, all our weapons can be found in the court record.
I'm way ahead of you, Gersberg.
Find the evidence you need and then shove it into old Greybeard's face.
Yes, sir. Into old Greybeard's face.
Ed, Mr. Grossberg. Fuck you. There's a better example for the young lady. I'm not a pirate. Yeah, evidence isn't the only thing in the court record. People's profiles are as well. You can toggle between profiles and evidence with tab, so be sure to go over it all. Now then, let's see what you got. What was the cause of the bad blood between Phoenix Wright and the victim?
Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, she's got such a high-pitched voice. The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here.
Dahlia Hawthorne, is it?
Very good, Miss Fay. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. But up until 8 months ago, she was the victim, She was with the victim, Mr. Swallow.
Up until 8 months ago,
victim.
she was the victim 8 months ago. They switched bodies, you see.
And clearly, she has some part to play in this story.
It's both her and a guitar case.
Mm.
He's done it again. Before the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants.
That's always what happens when the prosecution steps up to the stand.
There you are, Mr. Payne. Please call your first witness.
If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What? The defendant himself. Miss Wright?
It's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection.
Very well. The court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Oh, yes. My name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now I guess I'm a suspect. Oh, he means what did you do before you were arrested?
My occupation has changed because I'm under suspicion.
Oh, that's you. I was a university student. I don't know if sneezes catch on Discord.
I did hear the sneezes.
Mr. Wright, you understand that you are suspected of the death of your fellow student, but
And I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. Telling you I was... Achoo! Achoo! Will the defendant please refrain from passing on his code to the rest of us?
It seems the witness has something he wants to say.
Well then, Mr. Wright. Please tell us about your relation to the victim. Right away, Your Honor.
The victim and I.
I admit I was there. But I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. I see. So you hardly knew the victim. Hey, like I said, I'm not a killer.
Phew. Looks like the judge understands.
You're being naive, you know. Too naive.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. It seems like you forgot one small thing, young lady.
And that would be?
This witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination.
Cross-examination.
He's right. And it's the defense's duty to carry out the cross-examination. The purpose is to determine if a witness's testimony contains any contradictions.
Contradictions?
If a witness is lying, their statement will conflict that of the court record.
But Mr. Wright's my client.
Even if he is your client, in court all lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see. I went on a pilgrimage and everything.
What does he mean by that? Is he saying that testimony just now? That there was a lie? A contradiction?
Now then, a cross-examination, if you please, Miss Fay.
Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you haven't been lying. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? Alright, Phoenix. When you say there, you mean the place where the victim was murdered?
Yeah, sort of. A place where something happened, anyway.
Something? You can't hide what happened. We have photographic evidence.
Anyway, Mr. Wright, what were you doing at the scene of the crime? I thought you said you didn't know the victim, Mr. Swallow.
It's just a coincidence. We bumped into each other by accident. A coincidence, huh?
Behind his body. You say you found the body, but... Or, you said you found the body, so who called the police?
Huh?
Unfortunately, some other student that notified the police.
Other students?
That's correct. They were witnesses. Witnesses who saw the defendant standing there next to the body, in shock.
What? Is this true, Mr. Wright?
Could you stop sneezing every time you're in a bind?
Well, it's true that I was pretty shocked when I found the body. But I...
So you didn't know his face or even his name, right?
Right. Well, no. That is, I mean...
So, which is it? Did you know him or not?
Oh, see here! You can't avoid answering the question by sneezing all day.
Well, I guess I did know his name.
News to me. Why didn't he tell me that before?
I heard he used to date Dolly.
Who's this Dolly person?
Ah, yes, I'm the defendant's lover. This is Dahlia Hawthorne.
I see. Ah, young love. So bittersweet. Murdering each other over it.
That's all I knew about him.
Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with.
That's right. I mean, why would I even...
But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Mr. Wright.
Yep.
Well, Mr. Wright!
Ah, no, it wasn't me. I'm not a killer, I swear.
That's right. I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe?
Yes, well...
He's always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt.
I misread that as Onion Jack.
Onion Jack, yep. Did you see it at the crime scene? The Union Jack, I mean.
Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured he must love British stuff. See? It's true. Cross my heart. I swear I didn't do it.
He's acting fishier than the salmon I ate last night.
Can I ask you something, Miss Faye?
Yes, Your Honor. What is it now?
Who is this person anyway? This Union Jack fellow.
The Union Jack is the name of the United Kingdom's flag.
Oh, I see. Something like Stars and Stripes, right?
Fun fact, if I remember correctly here, I believe the Union Jack is referred to the flag when it's at sea, but it's called the Union flag when it's on land.
Huh. As usual, Your Honor, you're inside astounds me.
Hey, something just occurred to me. Isn't there something strange about this bit just now?
Yeah, there's a contradiction here.
Mr. Grisberg?
Quickly now! Show that boy you mean business. With evidence, I mean.
Okay, Mia. Check the court record carefully.
Well, my dear, do you think you can manage on your own from this point?
I think I got it, Mr. Grisberg. 1 year ago, I was in a courtroom just like this. I can do it. I can handle this myself.
Good. You mustn't try to bite off more than you can chew, Mia.
I'll be fine. I know what I have to do.
Remember, you can always press him to get more information. Oh, and one more thing. When you're going to state a contradiction, make sure you present some definitive proof.
Okay, Mia. One more time from the very beginning of his testimony. Okay, we pressed everything. That was the new thing that was added. We don't see a Union Jack there. Because we've got limited evidence to work with, which I suppose makes sense, considering it's the tutorial trial.
Yeah. No investigation phase.
Yep. Are you certain you saw the Union Jack?
Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back.
Miss Faye, is there some point to this line of questioning?
Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing on the victim's back.
Hey, wait a minute. He's wearing a leather jacket. The Union Jack is on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing.
I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body. But if that were really the case, then wouldn't you know? Then you wouldn't know that, would you? You have no idea at all what he was wearing underneath that jacket. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me!
Please forgive me. Yeah, you bet I'd plan to cry. Good job.
Let him! That P on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyway. I can't believe I trusted him. Mr. Wright was all wrong.
What does it stand for?
I don't know.
Penis.
Yeah.
That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies, Hooray. It's quite clear that this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime.
Uh-oh. Did I go too far?
Hey, Mr. Wright. You seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it?
Yeah, I took some, but...
Was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X?
Yeah, that's right. Kills colds good. Hey, wait a second. How do you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X?
Heh. Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now?
Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere.
You lost it. Does this even have anything to do with the case?
Mr. Wright. Shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now?
Huh?
Your Honor! I'd like you to take a look at another photo from the crime scene.
Here, give me just a second. I'm not sure if a candle's burning or if it smells like fire, but there is smoke, so I'm going to be right back.
Alright.
Okay, it turned out to just be a candle. Everything is fine.
That's good.
on what's the word? On edge just a little bit because I guess my sister had blown out a candle the other night and the fire alarms went off. So we're like, oh no, what's going on? We thought they were just acting up, but then my sister's like, oh no, there was actually fire. I just blew it out. I smelled it and I was like, that smells too strong. I'm like, that's concerning. Anyway, let's look at the crime scene photo.
What's this? The victim's hand. It's Cold Killer X.
Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to. Especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it.
What?
Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine, dropped by Mr. Wright, and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so could only have been to identify this killer as Phoenix Wright. And then after dying, he wrote Phoenix's name in the sand with his finger.
Exactly.
Order! Order in the court!
Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence. And also the updated autopsy report.
Gosh damn it.
Very well. The court will accept them into the record.
Crime photo 2 added to the court record. Old Killer X added to the court record.
Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken.
Again!
Okay.
Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all of this?
Okay.
This is really bad.
Oh, my buttocks! My buttocks blood hemorrhoids!
Grossberg, why?
That's a line I had to say.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What really happened?
The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. Keep a specific time. We talked for a bit, and then around 3 o'clock we split up. And later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. Mr. Wright, that's completely different from the testimony you gave previously. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth.
You know, Phoenix, for doing this in your youth, this is why you're plagued with witnesses that do the same exact thing to you.
Yeah.
You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible.
Miss Ray, please begin your cross-examination.
Please, Mr. Wright. Don't tell any more lies. Okay.
What time did this watch say?
That's true. Had you ever met the victim before then?
No, never! But that day, he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly. This Dolly person is... It's kind of embarrassing. It's my, sweetheart. Oof! What was that for, Mia?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden. I didn't mean to open that up either.
Dahlia Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim, Doug Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is.
So it's one of those nasty love triangles, I see. That are normally not actually triangles. They're more of a weird angle.
Some sort of, was it polyhedron?
Well, unless one of the guys, or one of the people in it is bi, you typically don't close the shape.
That's true, it's more of a V shape.
But yeah.
Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated that you should meet at 2:45? 2:45? I can speak.
It's pretty weird.
2:45.
Yeah, and we were both there right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. We're making drugs. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU. An alchemist, is she? I gotta admit, I was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. Oh, fascinating. He sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man. And tell me who killed him.
What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for more details? Forget about it, obviously.
Yeah. You don't need more details in court.
No, absolutely not. So, are you absolutely certain that you met at 2:45?
Yeah, pretty sure. That's the time class ends. But they're always doing experiments, so it doesn't matter much.
Experiments?
Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always in the lab whipping up something.
Well, looks like he's right about the time anyway.
Witness, let's go on with your testimony.
So what was it you were talking about?
You know, that maybe we should hang out again sometime.
Hang out again sometime. I wish it were true. So you say you went back?
Yeah, that's when I found the body.
Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him?
Well, that's right, I was.
That's as a revelation to me. You were angry with him?
I was about to say.
Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there?
I thought maybe we could make up.
Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this. It's rather unusual to catch a cold this time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh?
I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine?
Well, I always took one after meals. So I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it.
On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch?
Huh? What does that have to do with anything?
You can never be too sure.
I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Mmm, her mini omelets are magically delicious.
Isn't that Lucky Charms?
Yep. Ouch! Why did you punch me in the jaw?
That was such a great ouch! That was great, so. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden.
Well, Mia?
I don't know. I can't seem to find any contradictions.
The boy isn't exactly what I'd call a natural-born liar, you know. But still, we can't have him continue to spout nonsense.
I know. But what can I do?
Well, I'm certain he must still be hiding something. Information! Right now, it's information we need more than anything else.
Okay. Was it that one? I think it was that one. It was like time and pharmacology, so I guess we'll talk about pharmacology. Or we can just forget about it. That's obviously the answer here.
Forget about it and see where it takes us.
Absolutely, yeah. Obviously, that's the route. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department.
Well, okay, sure. I don't know that much, though.
A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity.
That's right. They sure look dangerous. They could kill a man.
Mm.
They use non-standard voltages, so there are high-voltage cables everywhere.
High-voltage cables.
Yeah, there's electrical poles set up all around the building. The high-voltage cables run overhead around the roof.
Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. The judge is shaking his head, he doesn't agree.
Yeah, I think that's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason.
I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either.
Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright.
Apparently he gets a first name.
Your testimony cannot be trusted.
What do you mean? I knew it was too much work for a little girl.
Huh.
However, there's one mystery that still remains.
There is, Your Honor?
Well, the murder was carried out, of course. Just how is the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct?
Well, that is... You are correct, Your Honor.
So, how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. I think we could probably establish the murder method. Your Honor.
Yes, Miss Faye?
I believe that if we were to piece everything oh my gosh, I can read. I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died.
That would be most impressive.
Quite the rare statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence.
Of course I know that. Actually, I'd totally forgotten about that.
Now then, Miss Faye, let me see what you got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted.
Well,
Since
yep, he OD'd. If you look at this photo here, as for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well.
What? There's nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here.
Right here in the middle.
I totally didn't figure it out right when the picture was presented.
Yeah, not at all.
I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss Faye, what exactly in the photo is a murder weapon?
I wonder where it is.
Oh, Dora! Can you find the murder weapon?
Where's the murder weapon? Do you know where the murder weapon is?
Swiper, did you kill a man?
Did you kill a man? What is it? Where is it? Is donde está?
That
Donde?
sounds right.
Donde está murder weapon? Can you find the murder weapon? No, that doesn't look like the murder weapon. Well, naturally, it's right here.
Etch! What is that?
A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we heard? The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere.
Good, the high voltage cable is the murderer.
Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation.
That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I believe some praise is in order.
Don't toy with me, old man.
Damn.
Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was... the defendant!
That is certainly true.
Yes, that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer.
You do? Well, what is it?
His fingerprints.
Fingerprints.
Again with the fingerprints.
You mean the defendant's fingerprints are on something besides the medicine bottle?
Let's take a look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well.
You mean...
Yes, it is quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket.
Ah, this again.
The palm print of the defendant's very own hand. We cut it out, and we put it in a safe, so that no one can find it.
No one can find it.
What?
You can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left the print like that. Intent on murder! He squarely pushed the victim toward the severed electrical cable.
Order! 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 That's enough. Clearly the answer is that he was gently caressing his chest in a tender moment.
Yes.
I think we can conclude that there's no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Stick a fork in us. We're done.
Mr. Grossberg!
My hemorrhoids never lie. The show's over, Mia.
Oh my lord.
It's like hips don't lie, but terrible.
Yeah, just terrible.
I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him.
No! You're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent.
No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt.
Your Honor!
This time I'm prepared to render a verdict in this case. I'm stupid. You have something further to add, Miss Fay?
Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth. The whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand out his verdict.
But I can't. I just can't say it. I told you what really happened, for realsies this time, then I'd be...
It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me.
Miss Fay.
No matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you, and I'll represent you to the very end. I stumbled over my words on that, but you can trust me. I am confident.
We've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything.
But, wait a minute.
Mr. Wright.
I'll tell you what really happened.
But I've already told you, Mr. Wright, there's no need for further.
I did it. I admit it, I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault that Doug Swallow's dead.
That girl, you shouldn't be seeing her anymore.
Hey, it's none of your business.
I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news.
You're lying!
Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl.
Stop it! Don't talk about her like that. What you just said, was that the truth? Yes, I was afraid. Afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure. Now they just still think that. But
Yep.
whatever. Well, there's things to understand. We're all absolutely convinced you are. But please. Please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear. I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay. Won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you.
Oh, thank you. I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim.
Feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake.
Oh my lord. Well, leaving off with that, we've got to take our ad break, so we'll be right back for Phoenix's.
What a note to end on.
I know, what a note to end on. We'll definitely come back a lot stronger than that. We'll be right back. Okay. We are back to when Phoenix pushed the victim here. Oh,
こんにちは。
okay, it's delayed there. There we go. I hear konnichiwa. Thank you so.
That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I'm back, but he was just lying there, dead.
Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. And nobody has questioned why it was just hanging there.
Yep.
He died from the shock. That, as they say, is that.
A simple explanation indeed.
At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted.
But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it.
That's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that.
And which way?
You know what, Mia? One of these days, this is gonna be, this man's gonna work under your wing. This doofus.
He's going to begrudgingly tolerate him.
Yeah.
Let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that?
Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. What was he saying about Dolly? So, what kinds of things did Mr. Swallow say to you?
He said all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. Said she was a bad girl. Is that all? Yep. Well, Miss Fay, you heard him yourself.
Oh boy. You're not doing yourself any favors here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is.
Anyway, after he said that, I just...
Can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail?
That guy, he just said what he wanted to say to me. Then he put on the jacket he was holding and started to leave. That's when I lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy. I just gave him a light, gentle shove to the chest. You know, as one does in a furious frenzy.
Yep. And when you did that, there were no severed cable anywhere to be seen?
Right, there's nothing like that at all.
But is it possible that you merely overlooked it?
Well, I guess it's possible.
What are you doing? Don't let that guy steamroll over you like cheap asphalt.
I believe what's important here is the moment of the push occurred. Let's continue on with the testimony, witness.
A loud noise. And what would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright?
I'm not sure, but it's really loud. It's like, snack! You know, couldn't think of it. I wonder what that was.
Yeah. Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted.
You're not qualified to decide that. Oh, what should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. We'll ask for more details. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important. So try to remember what it was.
How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Aha! Could it have been?
Yes? Could it have been? Hurry up and tell us!
When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. Fell right on top of it and it broke. It's probably the noise I heard. An umbrella, huh? Did that umbrella belong to the victim? Yeah, it's a plastic umbrella. Cheap and frail. Kind of like the owner. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked up to the bone. Fish fair. What do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now?
One time I went to hand someone a bowl of hot soup and my brain tried to say, "Careful, it's hot," and here's your soup. So instead I blurted out, "Careful, it's soup."
I'm at soup.
I'm at soup. I feel that sometimes. I'll mix sentences like that together, or I'll mix words together, or switch the beginning syllables. I do that a lot. I'm just like, brain, why do you do that?
I do that while reading during stream.
Yeah. Agreed. Talking's hard.
It is.
Talking is hard.
That's why you share the burden.
Yeah. Well... Oh no, what did the judge say? I totally forgot.
Whether or not any of that was important.
Yeah, it's important! This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important. It's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony.
Ah, how perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer.
The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony.
He fell down on top of his cheap umbrella. So, Mr. Swallow fell on top of his umbrella? Are you certain of this?
Yeah, it was right there under him. Actually, if it hadn't been under him, I was planning on borrowing it for myself.
I was going to steal his umbrella after pushing him over.
Young Phoenix is kind of a dick.
Yeah! The umbrella, you mean?
Well, yeah. You see, I was wearing the sweater here. Well, I stayed up late for nights at a time knitting it for me. I don't want the rain damn the handmade symbol of her love. Oof! My stomach is not to be used with your personal soccer ball, Mia.
I'm so sorry.
Continue on with your testimony, witness.
After you shot the victim, did you leave the scene right away?
Yes, I did. I admit it. I was furious.
You left without even checking Mr. Swallow's condition?
Yeah. Like I said, I got worried about him later.
He was already there. Dead! At that time, did you see anyone else at the scene of the crime?
Nope. Nobody. Okay, I believe you.
Jeez. Could that stupid cough possibly sound any phonier?
Ah. In that case, it's very hard to believe someone else could have been the murderer. Unless we can find something that shows his innocence from that testimony, my dear. I'm afraid the judge will make his final decision with no remorse whatsoever.
Yes, sir. Right now I need more info. Info that will help me turn up some contradictions. was an option to press stuff in here, wasn't there? Was there? It's important, it's not important.
Was not underneath him in the photo. That was the thing that I took away from all that.
That's true.
It was broken.
Yes. You agree. Make a save. Tab. Fell down on top of this cheap umbrella. Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning?
Come on, if I had mentioned that.
I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier.
What do you mean by that?
Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole.
You're absolutely right.
The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive.
No!
Order! Order! Victim, he moved?
Yes, because people who are alive can do that, Your Honor.
What? That sounds like it's exhausting.
Yeah, moving is exhausting.
Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo. Is it now?
Well, that was collected by the police of the crime scene.
I want to present it as evidence immediately.
Umbrella out of the court record.
But the umbrella could have simply blown there by the wind.
According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind. Yep.
I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial. But, as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment.
No!
And that's how Payne lost his hair.
Yep.
I must say, I still find it hard to believe. A huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony.
Phoenix's testimony added to the court record.
Oh. Well done, Mia.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about?
Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone.
I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying. I'm not picking up what you're putting down.
Let me guess. You have another witness.
Exactly! And the witness's testimony will be incontrovertible. That's a $50 word.
That is.
Well, who's his witness?
Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Wait. You mean to tell me there are other women in this?
Yeah.
Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean Dolly?
I do.
Your Honor. I don't know if there's lag or not. The defendant's very old lover is a witness to the whole thing.
Discord's a little upset. But it's
Yeah.
fine again. I think it was just Discord. Discord.
Discord's causing Discord.
Yep. Why name it that? Why name it that? Did you say this line? I'm sorry.
The defendant's very old lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place.
Was she? was the murderer.
I decided to break the bad news to you, my dear.
Bad news. You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this.
You can't be serious.
Yeah, what do you mean by that? He's activated my trap card. Yeah, I think this is a good point for us to stop at. We'll now enter a 20-minute recess. We'll go play Foursquare.
He hasn't gotten to his dodgeball phase yet.
Nah, he still needs to grow into that.
Yeah.
Afterwards, we'll listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. First, we gotta make Soph talk like grocery more.
Yeah. April 11th, 11:52 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3.
Say, I'm sorry about what happened back there.
It's alright. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, so I guess I can start to relax then, huh?
Relax, my boy. You can't be serious after hiding such important facts.
But the next witness is my dolly, right? She'll save me. I just know she will.
Why do you think that?
Huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why.
The love of your life, huh?
You fool.
Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne?
Sure, no problem. Holly and we first met about 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse. Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on the side. Anyway, one day, she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave this to me the day we met as a symbol of our love. She had been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off. But before she gave it to me, she said, I want you to carry this.
So they gave it to you as a present, I see.
This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little dolly.
It certainly is a little bottle, alright.
Makes me so happy. I show it to everyone I meet.
Oh, maybe that's where it started, actually. Maybe it wasn't me. Yes, the attorney's badge. Look at my darling little attorney's badge. Don't you see it? It's so shiny.
I want to share my happiness with the whole world.
Dahlia's
It reminds
present.
Phoenix of the last time he was happy.
Hmm?
It reminds Phoenix of the last time he was truly happy.
Maybe that's why he's become so jaded. Dahlia's present borrowed from Phoenix Wright. Anyway. So after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating?
Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now.
A strange girl, asking for a present back like that.
By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne 8 months ago, it wouldn't happen to have been on August 27th, would it?
Huh? Yeah, it was. But how did you...
This happened on August 27th right here in this courthouse.
What's this? A newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse. Murder?
What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Yeah, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there is some connection between these two cases, am I correct?
Newspaper clipping added to the court record. I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. I need to finish this myself.
Ah, yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, my dear. I'll go and have a look in the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find.
Thank you.
I'll do whatever I can to be of help to you, Mia. Well, it looks like recess is about over. We'd better all get moving.
I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. To be continued. Fun new little jingle for the to be continued. April 11th, 12:13 p.m. District Court, Courtroom number 2.
Court will now reconvene. Mr. Payne, please call your witness. I had to tune back to Judge away from Grossberg this time.
Yes.
The next person is someone who witnessed the crime as it happened. The prosecution calls Miss Dahlia Hawthorne to the stand.
Gosh, how do I want to voice her? What voice would you have?
The voice of a murderer.
I don't know what that sounds like.
That's probably a good thing.
What's with the stiff silence?
My long career as a judge, I have been deceived by many witnesses. It's my job to judge, to take no one at their word. In your case, I must admit that you radiate a glow of complete sincerity.
I can't believe he actually said that!
You could kill a man right in front of me and I'd let you off the hook.
Now then, witness. Could you please state your full name?
Don't worry, sweetie. There's no need to be nervous.
Anyone says anything rude, you can be sure I'll cut them right down to size.
Now back to the gavel.
I love how they look straight at me when they say that. Thank you for calming my nerves. You're all so nice. I almost feel right at home.
Not at all.
There's nothing.
If we may move on now, what is your full name and occupation? My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence.
The honor's all mine.
No, the honor's all mine.
Well, we know whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
There's a lot of milkshake going on there, alright?
When did this come out in America again? When did I gotta know? I gotta know. Ace Attorney, Trials, and Tribulation. And release. Came over JP North America 2007. Wait, yes? Yes. North America was 2007. That feels like it's a little early though for Harlem Shake and My Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the Yard. I feel like that's a little early. I don't know when that was around, but 2007, I don't know, maybe it was around before I got into pop culture and it just seemed to be prevalent still when I was in pop culture. Man, what a line though. Sir.
Milkshake came out in 2003.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
Is there something I can help you with?
You're just going to say whatever's on your mind.
I'm sure there must be some kind of mistake. Feeny wouldn't kill anyone. I just know it.
Yes, yes. I can see why you'd say that.
She's gonna be a tough witness, alright. It only took her 12 seconds to wrap them all around her little finger.
Now then, please proceed with the testimony. Let's hear about what you witnessed on the day of the incident, if you please.
What I witnessed. I had been planning to go back to Feeny's place after class was over. Feeny and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. Then, suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. That's when Feeny noticed that I was there. I went to go and find some other students. They called the authorities.
I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong.
Young lady. As old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of young passion can burn. Nevertheless, it is my job to discover the truth. Please, tell us the truth.
But I would never. That's more than enough, witness. I won't allow this to continue.
What do you mean by that?
Please just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. Can you guys save the simping for after the trial? I, for one, don't plan to win my case on a bunch of paper-thin lies. You haven't changed a bit. Mia Fey?
What's this? So you two are acquainted?
Yes.
It wasn't obvious.
We've met before. Once.
In any case, Miss Fay, floor is all yours.
It's good to see you again, Madam Fay. Madam? I'm no one's grandma yet, girlie.
And she never will.
And she never will be. Now, unless I'm mistaken, Feeny, I mean, Mr. Wright, is in the art department? If that's the case, then what were you doing by the pharmacology building? Well, I'm in the literature department. I'm studying Japanese senryu poetry.
Oh, how wonderful. It's that humorous yet satirical style of haiku, yes?
Nothing left to do? When a man reaches his age, sleep is his best friend. That's supposed to be poetry? Sounds more like a midlife crisis. Damn, Mia.
That hits the close to home.
For me to get to the art department, I have to walk through the back area.
Ah, yes, I see. That makes sense. When I went into the courthouse, I always walked through the front doors.
How else would you enter? Teleportation?
No one's supposed to know about that.
The powers that are vested in thee. So, who is this Dougie person?
He's the guy that shows up in chat sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Doug Swallow. We were dating until about 8 months ago. So what were Dougie, Mr. Swallow and Mr. Wright talking about anyway? How can you be so mean? I would never eavesdrop. I wasn't raised to be so rude and unrefined.
That's right, Miss Fay.
Don't drag everyone is down to your level.
Why am I being demonized here?
Please go. What did you see next?
All wobbly and fell over. Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own? Yes. In other words, the defendant never touched the victim. Is that right? I was watching the whole time. Feeny never did a thing to Dougie. If I press her for no good reason, I just know the judge will get angry at me. So what should I do about her testimony just now? It's weird, because Phoenix said he pushed. Not only that, his fingerprints are in his vest, so... Feeble lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne. So let's drop them, shall we?
Hey.
What? I would never...
Miss Faye, I will not allow you to badger this witness.
Mr. Payne, you were the one that brought up the handprint.
Yep.
I believe the feds is engaged in a fishing expedition. That is, she has no supporting... Please don't glare at me like that. I'm just doing my job.
Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did, in fact, push the victim. What? There's no need to try to cover for the victim? For the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth.
There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Tell us everything that you saw.
Yes, Your Honor. I will. If you don't mind, I'd like to revise my testimony. Looks like we're finally getting somewhere. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. You didn't see it? Well, I saw the moment when Dougie fell to the ground.
At that time, there was only the two of them at the scene. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and the victim, Doug Swallow.
Yes, that's right. It didn't look like they were fighting, and I didn't hear anything unusual either. So then, what did it look like they were doing to you? I thought they were having a nice, friendly afternoon conversation. Oh, give me a break! That's why I really wasn't watching them all that closely.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all?
No, nothing at all, Mr. Judge.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Mr. Judge. Now then, please proceed with the testimony.
Why would you call the authorities? When you say students, do you mean students from the pharmacology department? Yes, they're all very fond of their drugs. Please try and stay on topic! So to find some pharmacology students, you went to the labs, correct? That's what I was planning to do. But in the end, I wound up not going. A group of about 10 research students came running out of the building entrance. Somehow they all seemed to know what was going on. The students knew what was going on? That's fishy. But how could the students have known what was going on? Well, I don't know for sure that they knew what had happened. It's just, they all seemed kind of excited about something. It doesn't look like I'm going to get any more info about the students.
Oh, did the students call the police?
Yes, I was just so... I was so panicked.
Yes. Well, I didn't go to bed, my dear.
That girl, she's telling a super obvious lie and she knows it. She's just pretending to protect Mr. Wright. Yes, that's gotta be it. Way to go, Mia! Good job! High five!
Okay.
Self-high five! Okay, that means I'm going to have to dig deep to find the contradiction on this one. Okay. Building, I didn't see the moment. Looked like they were fighting. I didn't hear anything unusual either. Why would you call the authorities though if nothing was wrong? Actually, let's read this. I didn't read this earlier. Murder in the courthouse? Very little information is being disclosed at this time since the victim of yesterday's incident in the district courthouse cafeteria is said to have been a lawyer. However, police are questioning the 19-year-old female college student who was sitting with the victim. Hmm. Okay, I went to go find some other students and they called the authorities. Didn't look like they were fighting, and I didn't hear anything unusual either. I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie.
Oh. My thought is that you would hear the umbrella snap.
Yeah, that was where I was going, so I'm just not sure though.
You always say.
That's true.
It'd
When
move,
in doubt, say.
testimony though, wouldn't it?
Hmm?
I thought the testimony said something about the umbrella snapping too.
Yes, the testimony.
Phoenix's.
Phoenix's testimony: victim fell on top of his umbrella. There was a loud sound when this happened.
Yeah.
Didn't see the moment he. I didn't look like they were fighting. I didn't hear anything unusual. I didn't hear anything unusual either. Okay, I think that's it.
Snapping is normal at college.
Yeah. You know, all the youth these days sound like snap, crackle, and pop. I can attest.
That's what Snapchat is, right?
Yeah, you got this. So.
I'm hit. I'm with it.
Yep. Hello, my fellow kids. You say you didn't hear anything unusual. Is that correct? Yes, that's why I was very relaxed, looking at the scenery around me. That's nice, but I find that just a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright, and he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise. He said that? If you were really that close to the two of them, why didn't you hear this noise as well?
Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable.
But according to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was a sharp noise, like a snap. There's no way a noise like that could fail to make an impression. May I have a moment to answer?
But by all means.
I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on, and I was listening to music at the time.
Headphones? You mean that both of your ears were covered?
The rain was just beginning to let up, but it seemed as though Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end yet. So the sky continued to flash and rumble. Thunder and lightning, huh? Very, very frightening?
Me, Galileo.
Figaro?
Magnifico.
Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of thunder. So I put my headphones on to block it out.
Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there weren't any contradictions in her testimony after all.
Wait a second, Mia. That testimony just now. She said something that could totally change this whole case. There was lightning. Yes? Electrocution? Can I save? Yes, I can. There was lightning. Your Honor, there's a problem with this witness's testimony.
What do you mean?
Didn't you notice? She said there was lightning, correct?
Yes, about it.
Well, lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere. Am I right?
Now's not the time for a science lesson, Miss Faye.
Yes, Your Honor. Anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution, isn't it possible that the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning?
Yeah,
Walla walla bing bang.
Yeah. Yeah, I could remember the rest of the song. I must admit that the thought had not occurred to me. Just like every other thought.
Just what kind of thoughts do occur to this guy anyway?
Yeah.
This entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Doug Swallow was murdered. But the very premise itself is mistaken. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was, in fact, the victim of a stray bolt.
Is it really, though? It appears the French may be onto something. Could it be that the death was actually accidental?
Alright, you did it, Mia. I'll be taking that not guilty now if you would...
I'm hurt that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Faye.
Well, it doesn't help whenever you act the way that you do, Mr. Payne.
It's true.
Huh?
I'm not a fool, you know. The prosecution has done its research, Your Honor.
Okay, you're not a fool. Are you a moron, though?
He's a pain.
He's a pain. That's true.
We found that there were no lightning strikes on that day at that location.
Oh, what?
What's more, we have evidence that the electrical cables definitely linked to this case.
Evidence, Mr. Payne? Well, what is this evidence?
It's affidavit.
And who is this affidavit from?
Pharmacology students who are conducting experiments in their lab. Allow me to read out to the court the testimony of the pharmacology students. All equipment in the labs lost power all of a sudden at around 3 p.m. that day.
There was a blackout?
All the lab's equipment runs on high voltage, Your Honor.
So you're saying the equipment lost power because...
Precisely. It lost power because of the severed electrical cable. The power outage occurred at approximately 3 p.m.
It fixed the time of death listed in the autopsy report.
Exactly! In other words, Victor died as a result of touching the severed electrical cable.
he was just too curious about the Sparkies.
It was this experiment for the day.
Yeah.
According to the students, the cables were very old. They're planning on having them replaced in the near future.
Oh, I see.
Apparently, the cables had become so brittle that even the smallest bump would have caused them to break.
Student testimony added to the court record.
However, there's one thing that troubles me. If the cable could have been broken by any small bump, then it wouldn't have snapped if it hadn't been bumped into, correct?
Well, I suppose you could say that.
Miss Faye, do you have any thoughts regarding the case, the cause of the severed cable?
Your Honor. I don't like how this is looking one bit. I have to come up with something to try to regain some momentum. If it pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion.
Oh, then let's hear it. Whoa, what was it that caused the cable to break?
Found broken near the electrical pole at the crime scene. Well, okay, thinking back through this, Phoenix had an argument with Doug, pushed him, and Doug fell on top of his umbrella. We don't know exactly where that is, nor has anything been said that he bonked into the electrical pole. But later on, after Doug has died, the umbrella is found near the electrical pole. Brain. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break? Mr. Payne, obviously. A veteran lawyer with a little too much confidence. Can I save? No, I can't. There's no health bar on this, though. Probably because it's a tutorial trial. Wait, is he... Okay, sorry, this is probably non-related at the moment, at least. It says he died at 3 p.m. This is at, like, 3:05.
Yep.
Who or what was it that caused the cable to break? I suppose maybe Doug when he was pushed into it? If he got pushed into like the electrical pole? And since any little jostle could snap a cord. I have nothing better, so. This is it. This is why the cable snapped.
Well, Your Honor.
I don't have a good feeling about this. Yeah.
I believe the only thing that has snapped is the mind of the defense.
Ah, that was one of your best lines yet, Your Honor.
Ouch, that was harsh. Please, Your Honor, give me one more chance.
Well then, let's hear it.
I'm making. Oh, I guess we're not getting damaged, so it's fine. Who or what caused the cable to break?
Drugs.
What?
Drugs.
Drugs. This is you. This is you on drugs. Don't do drugs, kids. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break? Cold Killer X, obviously. Owned by the victim. Found broken near an electrical pole. The umbrella? Nope, I don't think so. Nope. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break? Some sort of impact. A Genshin impact?
Yes.
Oh, and this was at 255.
Somebody lost their 50-50 and hurled their phone into the air angrily. And it hit the electrical cable.
That makes so much sense.
They got Chi-Chi for the 8th time.
I understand. I can understand that pain. I can understand them. I too would also hurl my phone into the void if Chi-Chi came home for the 8th time. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break? Cable broke at 2:55. Supposedly he died at 3, but his clock stopped at 3:05. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break? I don't know, we're going tired. Yeah, Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony.
The defendant's testimony.
He said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now, this happened at around 3 p.m., correct?
Yes, that sounds right. Wait, are you saying that...
The lab equipment lost power at 2:55 p.m. which fits right in Mr. Wright's timeline. In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage. You're saying this so confidently, Mia, not knowing what's going to come happen to you soon when you saying that.
Yes, the prosecution also came to the same conclusion. It was the very shove that caused Mr. Swallow to be electrocuted.
I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne.
What's that supposed to mean?
I disagree. Take a good look at where...
dummy head.
You doofus. We can't use the word fool, because that's not my line. Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See the umbrella? It's by the electrical pole. That's right. The victim banged into that pole as a result of being pushed. It was that impact that caused the cable to break.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then the victim was electrocuted.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no. It doesn't make sense at all. If the victim was shoved into the far pole, then he couldn't have been electrocuted by the severed... Then he couldn't have been electrocuted by the severed cable in the foreground here.
Ah!
In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim.
Order! Order in the court!
Ah, the lamentations of my enemy. How I've longed to hear for them.
Ma'am? It's true. The defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way the defendant...
Mr. Judge, sir. May I say something?
No.
The Madam Attorney's explanation. She said some things that are a little different than I remember them.
What?
What the? Please, just once more. May I please testify one more time? Please, Mr. Judge?
Of course it's alright. Just go right ahead and give your new testimony.
This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colors. What I witnessed. Part 2. The truth is, Feeny pushed him twice. The first time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. Then Dougie tried his best to run away from him. But Feeny caught up and crashed into him from behind. The cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted. It all occurred in less than a minute.
After being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away.
And that is when the defendant pushed him for the second time.
I'm so sorry, Feeny, but I just have to tell the truth. Am I doing the right thing? Am I, Mr. Judge?
Of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Fay, you may proceed with the cross-examination.
My takeaway here is don't trust people who are all pink.
Yes. Yes. They're definitely murderers. Okay, you know what? Before we get into this, we're hitting the 2-hour mark, so we should take our hourly ad break. So, let's see here. Okay, so we will be right back. Hang tight. Okay, we are back now. Let us go through here. So... Miss Hawthorne, previously in your testimony you said the following. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. I know, I'm sorry. I wanted to protect Feeny. So that's why you basically lied to the court? I was a bad girl. I know. Mr. Judge?
Yes?
Would you please forgive little old me? Of course he won't. What you did is called perjury.
Oh, come now. Just a little old white lie. You'll forget it this time, but please be more careful from now on, alright?
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Judge.
Not at all.
The judge has better be more careful himself. A dark alley is friendlier than that girl. Beware, Your Honor. Press Dahlia's claim that Feeny pushed him twice. Well, alright. Got an achievement.
Huh.
You're saying you actually saw the victim get pushed into the electrical pole? I know he doesn't look it, but Feeny can be a bit of an imp when he wants to be. Oh, really? But I never imagined he would cause an electrical cable to break. Feeny really is scary when he gets mad.
Yes, he sounds like a very dangerous individual indeed.
So, let me get this straight. You were happily listening to music on your headphones while you watched the scene unfold?
That's right. I don't have to ask you to stop bothering the witness.
I'm asking a legitimate question, Mr. Payne. Can you please shut your mouth?
You cannot.
I wasn't happy. I was so scared that I couldn't even move. All I could do was stand there and cheer them on! Cheer them on? What do you mean by that? Well, I wish the best for them both and that they would each give the fight their all.
That's very sweet of you to be so supportive.
And what happened after that?
That doesn't sound quite right. There were handprints found on the chest of the victim's leather jacket. Mr. Payton, were there also prints found on the back of his leather jacket?
Well, oh, there weren't.
Madam Faye, may I suggest that you listen a little more carefully? I said he crashed into him from behind, right? My Feeny wouldn't leave any prints behind in that case, would he? Did you actually witness the moment the victim was electrocuted? I'm sorry. I didn't actually see it. I turned my eyes away.
That's understandable.
Yes, indeed. It would have been a horrific sight for anyone to behold.
If I don't figure out the contradiction here, it's all over. She didn't have much time to come up with her lies, so this is my best chance. There must be a hole in her testimony somewhere. Think, Mia. I think it's that last one. The timing. This all happened in... Oops. In less than a minute. As I go through this all over again. It all occurred in less than a minute. But... stopped at the time of death. And they lost power at 2:55. We have 3 different times here. Let's save. I guess save. Hopefully I pick the right evidence they want me to pick in regards to the same exact topic. Present. That's enough, witness. I'm afraid I don't understand. You will in a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture? Oh, that medicine. That's the one Feedy likes to take for his cold. It's not the medicine I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch. It stopped at the precise time the victim was electrocuted. In other words, 3:05 p.m.
Yes, and your point is, Miss Faye?
My point is this. What time was it when the lab suffered that power outage due to the cable snapping?
Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55.
Would you care to explain to the court, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? What exactly happened during this 10-minute interval?
Musical number.
The defense proposes that it was during this interval that the real murderers killed Mr. Doug Swallow. I'm making a statement and stumbling over my words, but I swear I feel this way.
It's nonsense. The real murderer.
That objection sounds like the same objection they use for when Francisca says objection. Even you can't deny that the time between the cable breaking and electrocution are completely unaccounted for.
But who was it? Who else are you saying could have done it?
There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene was there a window of opportunity for the real killer.
Miss Faye. Is the defense ready to indict someone as this real killer?
It's finally time. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor. We are ready.
Very well. But remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Faye. Now then, Miss Faye, let's have it. Who's a real killer?
I wonder.
Gospel.
Yep, that's why he's not here. It could have only been you, Dahlia Hawthorne. What? How can you?
The defense is aggressive against Charles.
10 minutes passed between the time the cable broke and the time of the electrocution. What exactly were you doing the whole time, Miss Hawthorne? Were you really listening to some music while cheering them both on as they fought? I find it hard to believe that you didn't lift a finger to stop the men dearest to you.
Order! Order! Miss Faye. What? I mean, why, that is to say...
Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness the two men fighting on that day. However, after Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene, it was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very own hands. How can you say something so mean, Madame Faye? I didn't do anything.
Miss Faye.
Your Honor, please, I have something I want to say.
You! What is it?
Please strike everything the defense said just now from the record.
What the? Are you daft?
Yes. You're totally wrong, Miss Faye. Dolly, she couldn't do something like that.
Mr. Wright, get back in your seat. Bailiff, grab that man. Yeah, Arg.
Leave my Dolly alone.
Phoenix, you idiot. That boy. He's got himself in way over his head.
Oh, Mr. Grossberg, you're back.
Seems I've arrived just the nick of time. Get it? Nick? Like
Phoenix.
Phoenix. Nick.
Yeah,
Get it,
yeah,
guys?
yeah. Welcome back.
Grossberg, good find. I found the police report on that incident in your newspaper clipping.
Police report added to the court record. Thank you so much. This is exactly what I was hoping for.
You better take a good look at it. It, details how you came to lose your boyfriend. Now then, the defense has made a very serious accusation. Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, really, Your Honor,
May I interrupt you for just a moment, Mr. Prosecutor?
Don't you worry, my dear. I have the situation well at hand. That is, go right ahead.
Madam Faye, are you seriously accusing me of killing my sweet Dougie?
Yes, I am. Not only am I saying you murdered Doug Swallow, but you also tried to pin the whole thing on your current lover, Phoenix Wright.
I told you that you should let me handle this. Sorry, please go ahead.
How can you say that? I'm absolutely devoted to my dear Feeny. The notion that I would try to frame us is ludicrous. This is all just too much for poor little me to bear.
Yeah, I believe the girl in Stratton asked what on earth her motive would be.
The answer to that lies somewhere in this police report. It must. 8 months ago, an incident occurred in the basement cafeteria of this building. And then... that same day, the two of them accidentally meet. Your Honor, the defense requests further testimony from Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Further testimony? What about?
About the events of the day when she first met the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What could possibly have to do with this case?
The witness claims that she has no reason to frame the defendant. Am I correct? Well, I have evidence that suggests that she, in fact, has a very good reason.
Very well then. The court grants the defense's request. Young lady, would you mind staying on for just a little longer?
Of course not, Mr. Judge.
Get ready for the battle of your life, Dahlia Hawthorne.
If my weak point was just being called Mr. Soph, I would be such a sad man.
That would be. It's like, I don't know, just like the... Especially living in the South, where it's definitely like, yes sir, no ma'am, Mr. this, Miss that, like...
Yeah.
You would be a very, I don't know. It's normal to me. Like, it's second nature to me. Like, yes, it's a formality, but at the same time, it's just normal.
A lot of heart is outlandish to these people, though, so they don't have quite the same culture here.
That is true. That is true.
I first met my darling Feeny 8 months ago. It's like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse's basement reading room. The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. We've been going out ever since that fateful day.
We're so lovey-wovey, we literally make people sick. It's just jealousy, I think. Nothing more romantic than, courthouse reading room?
Yep, apparently.
That's right. Do that again, you'll be held in contempt of court.
And now we enter the final act of our little drama.
As we used to say in the days of my youth, go get her!
As you say, As you say, Grossberg. I want to look at that police report first. Oh, right. Yeah, Diego Armando. So, suspect Dahlia. Armando ingested poison while interviewing the suspect regarding another case. Traces of poison were found in the victim's coffee cup. No poison was found in the vicinity of the suspect's person. It's unclear how the poison entered the victim's coffee cup.
It's a mystery.
Mm. So until that time, you had been dating Doug Swallow?
Yes. I'm a real fool, I know. Letting my emotions change so quickly. I'm ashamed of myself.
Oh no, not at all. Look at me. I have infamous for changing my mind.
That's great.
My critics have even taken to calling me Judge Fickle. Oh,
Maybe you should look for a different line of work.
despite that, however, he always hands down the correct verdict. That's why some people also call him the Great Judgini. Do they?
Do they now? The courthouse reading room. That's a strange place to meet the love of your life.
Yep.
That's not true, Madame Faye. After all, Feeny was not only an art student, but he was also planning on becoming a lawyer.
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you, Miss Hawthorne. What was a literature student like you doing in a courthouse reading room?
This line of questioning is a waste of time. It has nothing to do with our murder case.
Miss Ray, I'm warning you. This has nothing to do with Mr. Swallow's case.
I have to remember the judge is on Dahlia's side. I'd better tread carefully. We just save and keep going. Also, thinking through it, it was poison, right? And then she gave the pendant to Phoenix, which has a little bottle on it.
Yep.
Keep pressing.
She was trying to make sure it wasn't on her person at the time that they were investigating.
Yeah.
And then she could get it back from him later, but he will not give it back to her.
He will not give it back to her. Your Honor, if you'll allow me some latitude, I think I can establish relevance. Please ask her to continue on with her testimony.
Very well. Young lady, I've got a simple question for you. What are you doing downstairs in the courthouse reading room?
If it pleases your honor, the answer is simply this.
That's a lie. You were writing a paper? On what?
On the relationship between modern Senri poetry and the criminal underworld.
Oh ho ho! That sounds like a fascinating research idea.
Am I getting old? No, I've even forgotten what I've forgotten.
This one also hits home. Again with the midlife crisis stuff, Mia.
Yeah, why did that girl really come to this courthouse? Isn't that what you wanted to know? And speaking of forgetting things, you haven't forgotten the police report, have you?
I promise you, I have not.
Gone through a lot of trouble to get it, my dear. So be sure to read it carefully. Grossberg, is this a bad time to mention I don't know how to read?
Hmm. So, what was it about Mr. Wright that made your heart malfunction like that? In my personal opinion, he just looks like a typical snotty-nosed college brat.
Perhaps to a woman your age, but to me, Beanie's handsome.
Perhaps to you, Miss Hawthorne, but to the rest of the planet, he's a dime a dozen.
Love is a mysterious thing, and I object to this line of questioning. If you were to look at my wife, for example, you might be all shocked.
You tell the truth. It was truly, truly shocking.
Beautiful mushroom. growing tall in the darkness. It comes from cow dung. That's the poem that best describes how I feel about my Feeny.
Were there any bad feelings between you and Mr. Swallow?
No, none at all. We parted on very good terms.
But that can't be.
Our investigation also shows that it was a clean breakup.
Huh? Are you sure?
Yes, it seems they both wanted it that way.
So the victim wanted to break up with her. So you're saying that Mr. Swallow also wanted to break up with you?
Oh, well, you see...
What a cruel thing to ask of a lovely lady like this. By the way, I have never once considered leaving my wife.
And this is related how?
Except for when he was fawning over Dolly just now. No one cares, Mr. Payne.
She didn't deny it. That must mean... That Swallow must have seen through her little act. He must have gotten a glimpse of her true nature.
Listen to me, Maya. Mia. There's the judge in the palm of her hand, you see. So the only way to discredit her is to find a contradiction in her testimony.
This is probably where we present the... Let's say first. Probably where we present the... police report. Because her name's on it. Yep. Miss Hawthorne, you weren't here because of your research paper, were you? Didn't you actually come here for a much more important reason?
What's the meaning of that cocky smile on your face, Miss Faye?
8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse, there was another tragedy.
Another tragedy?
You mean the incident in which an attorney was poisoned?
The name of the suspect in that incident is listed here in this report. And that name is... Dahlia Hawthorne. Yes, the sweetie pie of everybody's eye. Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. She was the prime suspect in a criminal case just 8 months ago.
Order! 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 That is unbelievable.
That's fair. That's so fair. You can't slander my witness. Winston Payne will not allow it.
Mr. Prosecutor, I believe I was speaking.
Pardon me. Go right ahead.
It's true that about 8 months ago, the police expressed some interest in me.
Express some interest, huh?
Mr. Judge Sure, I know I'm under oath, so I'll tell you the absolute truth. I did not commit the crime that occurred during that incident 8 months ago.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, I've tied the two crimes together. Now I just gotta stay on the offense. Offensive, excuse me.
Well done, yeah. Oh, you've really lit a fire in my heart. And in my buttocks.
Grossman, can you stop?
Grossman, go back home.
Go
That'd
back,
be nice.
Grossman, please.
You really let out your namesake.
Yep.
I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. I left my seat for just a moment, and that's when it happened. From what I heard, it was a liquid poison that is lethal at just 2 teaspoons. Not only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison. So you see, I'm innocent, I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that.
Hey, that's what happened here 8 months ago.
However, as you've heard from the witness's testimony, she had nothing to do with it. I think the defense is just about out of tricks.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Payne, but I'm afraid the defense has many more tricks up its sleeve today. And I'll be sure to show them to you before the end of this cross-examination.
What the? Why does the defense suddenly feel stronger?
Aha! Mia, you're glowing with a true lawyer's aura, my dear.
I've gotten warmed up. I'm ready to go.
A proud posture and self-confidence. Absolutely smashing. Thank you, Nigel Thornberry.
What were you talking about with the defense attorney?
Well, I'm sorry, but that's confidential.
According to the report, you were being interviewed regarding another case.
The lawyer that was killed. He said he wanted to talk about an incident I was caught up in when I was younger.
Why don't you tell us all what that incident was?
That has absolutely nothing at all to do with this case.
Objection sustained. Defense discretion is stricken from the record.
You get involved in a lot of incidents, don't you, Miss Hawthorne?
Well, I guess I was just born under a bad sign.
Don't worry, Tally, I'll protect you.
You heard the man. Now that is true love, young lady.
Phoenix? Phoenix, I thought you were going to be held in contempt of court. Yeah.
Oh, Feeny. Please.
Oh, those two are making me ill. Albeit for decidedly different reasons. How long were you gone?
I've already answered all these questions for the police. But if you must know, maybe 10 or 20 minutes?
And where were you during that stretch of time? Using the toilet?
What are you saying, Miss Faye? Toilet? My perfect little dolly doesn't poop. This is a weird fucking case.
You heard the defendant, Miss Faye. Good luck next time.
Oh, Feeny.
The police have already looked into this whole matter. They can confirm she does not poop. The slave questioning is nothing but a waste of the court's time.
Objection sustained. Miss Hawthorne, please continue with your testimony.
About how much liquid is blah, 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 blah. How much liquid is 2 teaspoons?
Yeah, well, let me see. The bottle of 5 drops says half fluid ounce, which is equal to 3 teaspoons.
So it's about 2/3 of that amount, huh?
The poison was found in the lawyer's mug of coffee. It must have been after I left the table. Someone must have quietly slipped it in there.
A special kind of poison? How so?
Well, I heard that it's almost impossible to detect.
Oh? And where would something like that come from?
I'm sorry. All I know is what I overheard the policeman saying. They said something about using advanced chemical processes to purify it.
Chemical processes? Well, that's quite... impressive. Most impressive.
The better question is, how did the criminal get something like that?
Pharmacology.
Pharmacology. And that's the reason they didn't arrest you? Because no one could show how you could have gotten the poison?
I think that's a good enough reason, Madam Faye.
He's right, and I think we've all had enough of his face questions.
So, in essence, the main reason Miss Hawthorne was never arrested for this crime was because no one could show how she could have obtained the poison.
Then all we had to do is find a way to establish how she could have gotten some, right? Great. Now just how did an elite student get a hold of poison, of all things? By having a boyfriend?
The poison for Cusco.
Yeah, the poison for Cusco. Cusco's poison, if you would. Very special. So, you see, I wouldn't know where to get poison like that. I'm gonna save, but I think we present...
Doug.
Doug. Mr. Swallow. You wouldn't know how to get that kind of poison. I don't believe you.
What?
In fact, you had easy access to that kind of poison, didn't you? At your boyfriend's lab.
But boyfriend? You mean the victim, Doug Swallow?
That's right. Up until 8 months ago, Miss Hawthorne was dating Mr. Swallow. And if you'll recall, Mr. Swallow was a pharmacology student at Ivy University.
Pharmacology?
His laboratory contained highly advanced chemistry equipment. In fact, without such equipment, the culprit could never have obtained such a rare and special poison. Well, Miss Hawthorne, it seems you had access to such a poison after all. And then, it was a matter of slipping it into the victim's coffee when he wasn't looking. The only person who could have done that was the one sitting at his very table. You.
No.
Order, order, order! Could it be?
That's nothing but a basic...
May I say something, Madam Faye?
What is it, Miss Hawthorne?
The amount of poison in the coffee was 2 teaspoons, correct? In order to carry that much liquid, you would need some kind of container.
Oh, yes, that's true.
I was searched immediately after the incident took place.
Quite true. In fact, the entire courthouse is turned upside down.
But they didn't find a suspicious container anywhere, did they?
She's right. They even mentioned that in the report. Well, you could have easily gotten rid of something like that. Rid of something that small.
Excuse me, madam, but this is a court of law. If you're saying I threw the poison container away, I think you need to show some kind of proof.
Proof? She got me good with that.
Eventually, evidence, I would have to disallow this line of questioning, Miss Faye. Unless we can come up with some evidence, we're going to lose this lead.
The police conducted a full body search of Dahlia and the entire courthouse. And yet the container holding the poison disappeared right after the crime occurred.
What accused the young lady of committing the murder? And where is the container the poison was carried in? What happened to it?
It was given to Phoenix Wright. You were forced to get rid of the container in a hurry, weren't you? And that's why you passed it on to someone that had nothing to do with the case. Someone that you knew wouldn't be searched.
But who is this person?
Mr. Phoenix Wright, of course.
So the defendant was this witness's accomplice?
Of course not. She gave the poison to him, disguised as a present.
What? But that's...
That's a charming little necklace. Is this a little bottle? You look right cute. So what about it? What does it mean, Miss Faye?
The day that the witness went and fell for Mr. Phoenix Wright was 8 months ago. August 27th. The very same day the poisoning incident. Under the pretense of love, the witness gave my client a present. All for the purpose of hiding the one piece of evidence that would give her away.
What? Are you saying there's a deadly poison in here? Take it back, take it back.
No, there's no longer any poison in that bottle. However, I'm certain if the crime lab were to analyze it, they would find a trace amount.
No! I'm not screaming, especially in that high pitch of a voice.
Order the court. Shut up, Phoenix. On behalf of Dolly, I object.
That's right. Control yourself.
I won't let you bully her like this. Mr. Wright, I thought I told you to stay in your seat.
Mr. Wright, why? Why are you going through so much trouble to protect her?
Why? Because I'm madly in love with her. That guy. Madly in love. I haven't heard anyone say that in a long time.
Mr. Wright, have you even thought about this? Why exactly would a woman like Dahlia Hawthorne want to date you anyway?
Well, I guess she must be madly in love with me too.
Mr. Wright, please, open your eyes.
And see.
Are we back to Bohemian Rhapsody?
Maybe.
You're just a poor boy. At this point in the trial, I think it should be obvious to everyone. The real reason that Dahlia Hawthorne is dating you is she's madly in love with you.
He's such a poor boy because he has to pay for everyone's dinner.
Yeah. Poor Phoenix. Even though you've become jaded, you're still easily swindled. Is to keep you quiet because of the necklace.
Yep.
Dahlia Hawthorne was not and is not madly in love with you. The only thing she's after is that bottle necklace you love to wear around your neck.
My necklace? Oh,
Back there in the waiting room. You said it yourself.
Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please leave it back now. What a strange girl, asking for a present back like that.
For Dahlia Hawthorne, that necklace is irrefutable evidence of her crime. That's why she absolutely had to get it back.
You're lying.
But you never gave it back to her. And to make things worse for her, you insisted on showing it to everyone you met. That's why she...
I don't believe you. No, that's a lie. What?
Ah! Chaos!
Chaos! That's a brief Deltarune reference.
Yep.
Mia, are you alright?
Yes, I think so.
That boy, he was completely insane.
Where's Mr. Wright?
Looks like the maid have got him, so he should be back soon enough.
Thank goodness. Oh no!
What is it?
The bottle on the bottle necklace. Miss Hawthorne's present. It's gone!
What? That's terrible.
Mr. Wright must have grabbed it.
I almost heard the line.
Oh. Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when he slammed into me.
Foolish boy. That's the only thing that could have saved him. What the blazes am I supposed to do now? That's right. This sort of behavior is unprecedented in the history of this court. I'm sorry.
I'm afraid that your apology is not enough.
Mr. Wright, what did you do with the bottle necklace?
Forgive me. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just give back the necklace.
He gave it to her.
What?
Oh, never mind. I ate it.
You what?
You ate it. It's too big to swallow, so I had to chew it in little bits first, but yeah.
What the?
What? What are you doing now? I like poison stuff, so.
Your Honor, you've got to stop the trial. Mr. Wright! Mr. Wright, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt? That bottle you swallowed may have had some poison left in it.
Yeah. It seems that it has proven the prosecution's case for us. Clearly, that bottle did not contain a deadly poison.
How can you be so sure?
I think that's obvious. As you can see, the defendant is still very much alive. As for the poison, more like a fledgling defense attorney's overactive imagination.
So it would seem.
Okay, but which we might touch on this, but just the thought that occurred to me, there needed to be at least two teaspoons. Was it as little as 2 teaspoons to cause a problem? So there wouldn't have been 2 teaspoons worth of poison in that bottle.
Residue.
Yeah, it would have been residue. So it would be detectable, but it wouldn't cause a problem. No, there must be some mistake. The bottle must not have had any poison left in it. Either that or the poison must have lost its potency.
There, it's alright, rookie. Trusting your client is the most noble thing a defense attorney can do. And it's heartwarming to see that you place this much faith in Mr. Wright. But that's how it is for us on the prosecution side, too. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life. Damnable fool. Which is why I can state that your assessment of her is completely wrong.
Uh-huh.
That's enough. Unfortunately, Miss Faye, I cannot accept your explanation of the events.
Why?
This may be impossible for a beginner like you to understand. In a court of law, evidence is everything. We presented it, and then Phoenix ate it.
Yeah. Even after I proved so much, is she going to get away with everything?
Well, now that the suspicion surrounding Miss Hawthorne's been cleared up,
Mr. Wright!
I'm sorry, Miss Faye. It totally slipped my mind. I'm really, really sorry. I know you believe in me, and I feel like I really let you down.
Mr. Wright, what are you trying to say?
I was gonna laugh if he shouted objection and then just passed out. There's something I forgot to tell you. What is it? That day. The day I met Doug Swallow.
The girl. You shouldn't see her anymore.
Hey, it's none of your business.
I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's gonna be bad news.
Man, deja vu. You're lying!
Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Last night, someone stole some poison from our lab.
But poison?
The same thing happened 8 months ago. A drug sample was stolen. She came to the lab that time too. It could only have been her. That girl's a thief.
Stop it. Don't talk about her like that.
Is it true? Did he really say that?
That's ridiculous.
There's one more thing. After I pushed him that day, I got worried and came back to have a look. And she was there. Dolly was right there. She was crouched down next to him.
What?
You told me not to ever tell anyone about it, but... I'm sorry, Dolly. Your Honor, this is... the defendant is... Miss Faye, you tell them. Dolly didn't do it. She's innocent.
So Dolly stole poison 8 months ago too, huh? If you put that together with Mr. Wright's testimony, then there's only one possible conclusion. The defense believes that Miss Dahlia Hawthorne stole some poison on the night before she killed Doug Swallow.
The night before?
Naturally, her motive for stealing it was to kill someone.
As one does. Miss Faye. You're so certain of your theory, then let me ask you this.
Mia, this is your last chance. Think carefully now. There's something that she desperately wanted to get back. Therefore...
Exactly who was Miss Dahlia Hawthorne planning to kill? Phoenix?
One absolute idiot. My assumption, at least.
Probably would not have been hard.
Yeah. There was one person that was standing squarely in Miss Dahlia Hawthorne's way. And that person was... Mr. Phoenix Wright!
Me? But that's preposterous. After all, it was Doug Swallow that was murdered.
Well, it's true that that's how things worked out. But let's remember that Mr. Swallow died of electrocution, not poison. The person that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison was, in fact, you, Phoenix Wright. There's no one else that it could be.
But how could that be? I thought Mr. Wright and Miss Hawthorne were in love.
Poor Mr. Wright. This must be killing him. At least not literally. Hang in there. I'll bring her to justice. I swear it.
It's the poison that's killing him, literally.
Yeah. As I said before, the only thing Miss Hawthorne truly cared about was the one piece of evidence linking her to that incident 8 months ago. And that's right. The bottle necklace. That's all she cared about.
But even so, why? How'd she go so far as to murder him?
8 months ago, just after the fall of that attorney in the basement cafeteria. Dahlia Hawthorne could think of only one thing. How to get rid of the bottle necklace as quickly as possible.
No. It can't be.
It was a pretty good move she made, too. The evidence was missing for a long time. But there was just one big problem. Although she got him to hide the evidence, Mr. Wright refused to return it to her. To him, the tiny little bottle was a cherished treasure. He even showed it to everyone he met.
You mean that's why she tried to kill Mr. Wright?
Correct, Your Honor. It was to retrieve that piece of evidence.
That can't be true. She can steal poison, but she can't steal a necklace.
I guess so.
Feeny, what a joke you are. Honestly, how can any woman even count on you for anything? I even told you time and time again to keep your trap shut about me and that necklace. You disgust me.
Miss Hawthorne.
It appears that we're nearing the end of this trial.
Fine. I can tell you plan on making me into a criminal no matter what I say.
You are a criminal, Miss Hawthorne.
We'll see about that. But first, Where's your evidence? It seems your sniveling little crybaby O'Klein has eaten the bottle as a snack.
Well,
Hey, old man. Are you senile or something? Why don't you say something instead of sitting there with that dumb look on your face?
Miss Hawthorne, what's happened to you?
Are you really that shocked? Or do you prefer me this way, Mr. Judge?
Yeah.
With absolutely no proof, you treat a voluntary witness like she's a mass murderer. Well, I have nothing more to say. I'll be heading home now, if you don't mind.
But we're not finished.
fine. Then ask this nasty old hag to finish up already. I can't let her get away this time.
Oh, yeah. You keep on pushing without any evidence. You could pay the ultimate price as a lawyer. So take your badge.
The ultimate price?
You'd be forced to take off your attorney's badge forever, I'm afraid.
No. You'd better think it over carefully, Miss Faye. Or should I say, Miss Gray?
Yeah?
I don't know, maybe like walk in the gray line between black and white. I don't know. That's my best guess.
Well, Miss Faye, can you provide evidence that will establish your guilt once and for all?
Let's make a save before we can't, because I'm not certain. I'm not certain at this point in time.
Not certain.
I'm not certain at this point in time. If I mess up here, my career as a lawyer's over. But to be honest, at this point I don't have any evidence that's well-founded. Even so, I'd rather lose my attorney's badge than let her get away with murder. Your Honor, the defense would like to present proof.
Impossible. You can't possibly.
Stupid woman.
It's the opinion of the court that there has already been enough discussion. Therefore, I'll allow only one piece of evidence to be presented.
Just one?
You're unable to establish her guilt, and I'm afraid that a very harsh verdict will immediately be handed down on Mr. Wright.
I understand, Your Honor.
I can just imagine the headlines for tomorrow's newspaper. Up-and-coming lawyer plummets to earth before she gets a chance to soar.
She was planning to poison Mr. Wright. If that's the case, then the poison was probably there. Probably in there.
Well then, Miss Faye, please present your evidence. Show to this court irrefutable proof that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison Mr. Wright.
Is it the Cold Killer X? Did she...
I think so. I can't imagine what else it would be.
I was thinking where Phoenix says, the only people that would know would be my friends. I eat lunch with Dahlia every day. And he lost it during lunchtime. And it magically shows up at the crime scene after Dahlia's been there. Here it is, Your Honor. The evidence that will prove her guilt once and for all.
Cold Killer X. Phoenix Wright's beloved cold medicine.
Is that a regular defense attorney have a bit of a cold?
If I did, I still wouldn't take this cold medicine. After all, it's been poisoned.
What?
Remember what the defendant said in his testimony.
They lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. I was with Dolly, just the two of us.
She was the one who took his bottle of Cold Killer X. Then she poisoned it, knowing that Mr. Wright was going to take some.
Now you're really grasping at straws. After all, it was the victim, Doug Swallow, that was holding the medicine.
I would like the court to recall the crime that happened here 8 months ago. Where did Miss Hawthorne hide the evidence?
Huh? What are you talking about?
8 months ago, the poison was hidden in her bottle necklace, which she then gave to someone else for safekeeping. Someone she had accidentally run into in the reading room. My client, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes, that's right. She did the same thing this time as well. After shutting the victim, Mr. Phoenix Wright left the scene of the crime. That is when the murderer, Dahlia Hawthorne, appeared. With her, she was carrying the poisoned bottle of Cold Killer X. This, of course, was so she could carry out her plan to murder Mr. Wright.
Yeah, I believe she did testify that she was going to meet with the defendant.
Yes, and she heard and saw everything that happened at the scene of the crime, including what the defendant and victim were arguing about, and the cut electrical cable. That's when she realized, I can't allow Doug Swallow to live. She used the severed electrical cable to silence him forever. Unfortunately for her, this is when the problem occurred. Mr. Wright, who she thought had left the scene, came back to check on the victim. And on top of that, because of the power outage, some students showed up as well. It's hardly any wonder that she was, as she put it, in a state of panic. Recall that she was carrying the bottle of poison cold medicine. She must have thought, what did they search me like they did 8 months ago?
8 months ago?
Ain't paying attention.
Yes, she disposed of the evidence exactly the same way as she did back then. She had someone else hold it. In this case, Doug Swallow. What an astounding
hair's gone
revelation. What?
Paying your hair's gone flaccid.
Okay, we've hit another hour, so we can take an ad break real quick, and then we'll hear what Dahlia has to say. So,
On that note,
I know you're all waiting to hear her response, so we will get through our ad break quickly, but we'll be right back. Okay, we are back now. I'm clear. You know what? Take a drink of water. Hydration's important, especially when you're talking a lot. Oh, come on now, everyone. Surely you aren't fooled, are you? A stupid woman. She's nothing but a filthy, stinking liar.
Right, Mr. Prosecutor?
Huh? Yes, that's exactly right. It's just pure desperation.
I wonder which one of us is the desperate one. So, Miss Hawthorne, this cold medicine, I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking some. Well, Mr. Wright ate that necklace of yours, right? Now it's your turn to prove your innocence. What do you say? If I'm just a filthy, stinking liar, then there's no need to worry. So come on, show us. I dare you to take some of this medicine right now. Mia Fey. Mia Fey! Do you think you've won? Well, do you, Mia Fey? That's just fine. For the time being.
Victory is yours.
For the time being.
Wow.
It's me.
That's me. The time being.
Oh right, yes. I was gonna say. I'm very lost here. So.
Well, I have a very long memory, you know. You and I will meet again. I'm certain of it. Well then, Mr. Judge, I'll see you later too, okay?
Huh? Yes.
I'm going to go spend a little quality time with the men in blue now. I wish you all the best.
Phew. It's finally all over.
Hey, I refuse to accept this. The defense hasn't shown a scrap of evidence to support their outrageous claim.
But even so, your witness seems to have accepted it.
I don't care. I witnessed pain. And I don't believe one word that this rookie lawyer has said.
Well then, Mr. Payne, let me ask you this.
Yes?
Would you care to try this cold medicine?
What?
Just a little earlier. I could have sworn you said.
There, it's alright, rookie. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life.
So, if she's so trustworthy, then I'm sure there couldn't possibly be any poison in here, right?
Well, you see, yes.
And here comes the backpedal. Come on now, rookie killer. Show this rookie how it's done. How much trust do you really have for this woman? Are you willing to bet your life?
Listen. Oh.
This is how Payne went bald.
Mr. Payne? About Miss Dahlia Hawthorne?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll file the papers for her immediate arrest.
Tragic, but not surprising. I knew there was something suspicious about her from the very beginning.
Yep, you did, Judge. Don't lie. Just admit you were wrong.
By the way, Miss Fay,
Yes, Your Honor.
was it me, or did you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne seem to know each other?
Your Honor, whether we did or not has no bearing of this case.
Very well. Mr. Payne,
This can't be happening. This is a nightmare. It's like I'm losing my daughter.
It appears Mr. Payne has lost his spirit along with his hair. Does the defendant have anything further to say?
It can't be true. My dear Dolly.
Very well then. I believe I'm ready to pass judgment and bring this trial to an end. Court finds the defendant, Phoenix Wright. Now get the fuck out. Court's adjourned.
April 11th, 3:16 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3.
Mia, you're wonderful in there.
Thank you for everything, Mr. Grossberg.
During the verdict, I thought my hemorrhoids were going to explode like Mount Vesuvius.
Another astounding line from Grossberg. Mr. Grossberg, do you, maybe think you could stop talking about them?
I would appreciate it greatly.
Yes.
That's rather rude. Anyway, this case really made me think. What does it really mean to have a relationship of mutual trust with the client? Perhaps it is we veteran lawyers who have lost sight of this.
Oh, Mr. Wright, congratulations.
And also condolences.
And condolences.
Thanks. You know, I was thinking.
Go on.
The daughter that I saw up there on the witness stand. I don't think that's really her.
What?
Yeah, only I know could never have said those kinds of terrible things. Maybe if she was like, I don't know, a fake or something.
Boy, this poor kid still hadn't got a clue. You need to forget
Men
about
are
her.
kind of dumb. Men are kind of dumb.
You need to forget about her, Mr. Wright, for your own sake.
Yeah, you're right. That's probably for the best.
Also, you need to relax a bit more. Try to grow up a little.
Not too much, because then you get depression.
Hmm.
But of all my friends, everyone says I'm the most grown up.
Hey, what kind of company does this guy keep?
Pearl and Maya.
Larry.
Yeah. Right now, I'm starting to become a lawyer myself.
That's what you keep saying. But I thought you were in the art department?
Come on, Discord. Well, yeah, I am. There's a friend that I desperately want to help. And if I hurry, then I should still be able to save him in time.
I see.
Say, Miss Faye? A lawyer is someone who can help people when they're in trouble, right?
Mr. Wright, I'm still new at this myself. But I think that's exactly what a lawyer is.
Okay. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna study my butt off and become a lawyer for sure. And study my Larry butt off.
Hmm.
I hope we see each other again someday. It's been 5 years since I was acquitted of all charges. I became a lawyer like I planned, and managed to save my friend. But Mia has passed on to a better place. For me, this trial brings up a lot of painful memories. But it also brings up some very precious ones. And memories that I thought would never rise to the surface again. He is gone now. But even so, I can hear her in my mind.
It's like she manifests in the people around me or something. Phoenix, no matter what, Always believe in your client. In a court of law, your greatest weapon is your belief.
5 long years. Something's happened that made me think back to her words of wisdom. But that is a story for another day. Who are you telling?
Us, the audience. Phoenix Wright's breaking the fourth wall here.
Understandable. That man's nose.
That man's nose, indeed. Brand new episode's been added. And we're saving and we're going to... No, before I hit save here, because it's going to spit us right into the next episode, I know it. I feel like that's how it goes. But yes, that was the first trial. That was over 3 hours of content. My goodness. A long tutorial trial, but a fun one. I liked it. It was nice to see Mia again, even though she's there half the time already anyhow. It was nice to see Mia for Mia. But yeah, so I guess we should probably wrap it up. But I don't think it's a good idea to get too into the thick of the other one. We'll be here all night, which is not what's the word? Which is not something that I really want to be doing. So we've got work tomorrow. Let's see here. It's actually an hour that people might be online. How exciting.
What?
I know, right? Astounding. Okay. Okay, looks like Ultimo's online, so we'll go ahead and read out to him. But yeah, so ending stream here tonight. Thank you everyone for coming to watch, and thank you, Soph, as usual, for coming to voice stuff for me and hang out. It was a good time. But yeah, what's today? Today is Thursday? I don't know what day of the week it is. Today is Thursday. Yeah. So next stream will be on Saturday, our Star Rail Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. You can find the schedule posted, or not posted, yes posted, but pinned on Twitter, which you can find in the links down below. Also, it's where I post when I'm going live and other things in between, so it's the best place to keep up with me if you follow me on Twitter. Yeah, I think that's it. It's not late, but my brain's always a little fried when it comes to the end of stream. I'm just like, what do I do again? I don't know what I do. So, with that, we'll go ahead and read out to Ultimo, who's playing Undertale tonight. So, yeah, go ahead and end it. So, thank you again for coming, guys. I hope you have a good night. See you next time. Bye-bye.